Next cartoon. Andrea, come on up. You're the next contestant. I want you to circle an object, a word, something that stands out to you in this political cartoon.
Do I write white?
You don't need to write why. If I call on you, be able to explain. Okay. Grab yourself a Starburst. Who's next? Esperanza. Something else that stands out to you. All right. So we have this gentleman down here carrying, who's this again?
Sam.
Uncle Sam represents the United States. What is this gentleman doing to Uncle Sam?
Carrying him.
Carrying him. This gentleman represents Britain. And what is he doing?
Getting carried.
He's getting carried by who? It's hard to tell, but that's a turban. It's probably a gentleman from India. India was the crown jewel of the British Empire. Okay, what about the title? What about that right there? Remember, we talked on Monday about the white man's burden. It was the burden of the white man to take over these lands, these islands, to get them Americanized, to save them from savagery and barbarism, right? But who's carrying the burden? Is it the white man in here? No. So what does that question mark symbolize? And the title? Whose burden is it? The other countries, right? The other countries are the one that's doing all the heavy lifting for these other countries, right? It's the burden of the lands that we're taking over, the people that we were taking over, not of the white men in this cartoon, okay? They're getting carried. This is a French man getting carried. This is a German guy getting carried. So would you say that this is an imperialist cartoon or an anti-imperialist cartoon? Anti, right? Okay, very good. I would agree with that. The burden is not on the white men that are getting carried. The burden is on the laborers that are carrying them. This differs greatly to the next cartoon. Fatima. Come on down, you're the next contestant. Circle words, objects, symbols that stand out to you, that mean something to you. All right, very good. Alejandra. Oh, Fatima, don't forget your prize for participating. All right. Eric, something else stands out to you. Circle a couple of them. All right, excellent. Grab yourself a wonderful prize. So who's carrying what in this cartoon? The United States?
Hawaii.
And is carrying, okay, Hawaii, the islands, Cuba, Puerto Rico. What's that? China and Japan, is that in there?
The other one is carrying India. The other one
All right, then this is a British gentleman who's carrying China, India, whatever these caricatures are very racial, right? They're showing them in a very primitive light, okay? So what is this mountain that Uncle Sam and this gentleman are carrying these people up?
Civilization.
Civilization. What were the words that you circled, Eric?
Ignorance
Ignorance.
and
Superstition.
yeah, that one. And
What?
Superstition.
Superstition. Okay, there's oppression on there. Hmm? They're climbing over their struggles, these struggles that these backwards, quote unquote, backwards nations have, right? That we talked about yesterday. Trying to get them up this mountain and getting them to what, Fatima? What'd you circle? Civilization. They are not civilized in the minds of this cartoonist, this imperialist cartoonist, right? It is the white man's burden to get them up the mountain, to get them to civilization. They can't get there on their own. America has to help them get there, okay? And the title, The White Man's Burden. Apologies to Kipling. Kipling was a poet who coined the phrase white man's burden, okay? So, last cartoon, White Man's Burden, we said wasn't actually the white man's burden. With the question mark. Well done. This cartoon is saying that it is the white man's burden to get them there, okay? So since on the worksheet, your cartoon analysis worksheet, section 3 wanted you to describe what's happening in the cartoon, what symbols are being used. Ms. Ruiz, can you please answer number 1 up here? Go ahead and come up and write down what you put down for number 1. All right, Rodrigo, when she's done, go ahead and take number 2.
That's it.
All right, describe the action taking place in the cartoon. Trajan. Describe the action taking place in the cartoon. Uncle Sam is now carrying those from foreign countries to the top of a rocky hill to get them to civilization. This rocky hill of oppression, of barbarism, of savagery, okay? Rodrigo, take number 2. Explain how the words in the cartoon clarify the symbols. Thank you, sir. Explain how the words in the cartoon clarify the symbols. The struggle they had to go through to make them civil. They had to fix this oppression, fix this barbarism, fix this savagery. It was the white man's burden to fix it, to get them to civilization. So I went ahead and took number 3, explained the message of the cartoon. So number 4, is this imperialist or anti-imperialist? How many say it's imperialist? Okay. Why? Alexa, why?
Because it's showing like the United States helping other foreign countries.
Shows them helping. It shows the burden is on them to help, right? And you think it's anti-imperialist? It is an imperialist cartoon. So you see the 2 different sides of the white man's burden. The first cartoon, anti-imperialist. The second cartoon, imperialist. Very different views on the white man's burden and the benefits of the people that it affects, or lack of benefit. Next cartoon. Who hasn't come up? Raul. I know you weren't here yesterday, but circle something, items, words that stand out to you. Anything else?